Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah. Continuing in volume 2 of Riyad, as-Saliheen, book number 17, the book of the prohibited action. Chapter 256, some cases where it is permissible to backbite. Backbiting is permissible only for valid reason approved by Sharia. These reasons are as follows. 1. It is permissible for an oppressed person to speak before the judge or someone in a similar position of authority to help him or her establish his or her rights by telling him so and so wronged me and has done such and such to me, etc. 2. It is permissible to seek somebody's assistance for forbidding evil and helping someone change his or her immoral conduct. One can say to the person who can offer such assistance, so and so does such and such evil deeds. Can you exhort him, etc.? This is permissible as long as one intends to forbid evil. If, however, one intends something else apart from this, then this act becomes unlawful. 3. One who seeks legal verdict on a certain matter may point out the defaults of another person or relate something else. One in this case can say to the mufti or the religious scholar who issues verdicts, my father or brother, for example, treated me unjustly. Can I get my right established, etc.? This is permissible to say only if need be, but it is better to say, what do you think of someone who did such and such? This does not mean, however, that naming the person in question is not permissible. Hadith number 1536 makes this point clear. Number 4, one who criticizes those who openly commit acts of disobedience, such as drinking wine, gambling, engaging in immoral habits, fornication, hypocrisy, and making mischief. 5, it is permissible to call into question the narrators of hadith and witnesses in the court when the need arises. It is also permissible to mention the bad qualities of somebody for marriage purposes in case an advice is sought. Also, if one has noticed that a seeker of knowledge frequently goes to the gatherings of an innovator in religion and one fears that this seeker of knowledge may be affected by this so-called scholar, then he must, in this case, give counsel to the seeker of knowledge by telling him about the innovator, etc. 6. It is permissible to use names such as al-amash, which means the blear-eyed, to talk about people who are known for such name for the sake of identification and not for disparaging people and underestimating them. To identify them without resorting to such name is, however, better. Narrated Aisha radiyallahu anha, a man sought permission for audience with Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, give him permission, but he is a bad member of his tribe. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Imam al-Bukhari has obviously justified the backbiting of wicked people to save people from being deceived from their appearances. If people are not informed of the real conduct of such person, their religious as well as worldly life will be exposed to a grave danger. For this reason, the backbiting of wicked person for the purpose of warning others is permissible. Narrated Aisha radiyallahu anha that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I do not think that so and so understands anything of our faith. Al-Bukhari. Al-Bukhari said, Al-Layth bin Sa'd, who is one of the narrators of this hadith, said the two men mentioned by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in this hadith were hypocrites, i.e., they reveal faith and conceal disbelief. Hypocrites are also people of mischievous and doubtful conduct. It is therefore not only permissible but necessary to make people aware of their real position so that people become cautious about them and their religious and worldly life may remain safe from their mechanizations. Narrated Fatima bint Qais radiallahu anha, I came to Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said to him, Muawiyah and Abu Jahm sent me a proposal of marriage. Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Muawiyah is destitute and he has no property, and Abu Jahm is very hard on women. Bukhari and Muslim. We learn from this hadith that it is permissible to mention the true facts, virtues, and vices without equivocation about the parties who intend to enter into wedlock, provided one does it for their welfare. Narrated Zain bin al-Aqam radiallahu anhu, we set out on a journey along with Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we faced many hardships. Abdullah bin Ubay, the chief of the hypocrites at Al-Madinah, said to his friend, do not spend on those who are with Allah's Messenger until they desert him. He also said, if we return to Al-Madinah, the more honorable, meaning himself, i.e. Abdullah bin Ubay, will drive out therefrom the meaner, meaning Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I went to Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and informed him about that, and he sent someone to Abdullah bin Ubay. He asked him whether he had said that or not. Abdullah took an oath that he had not done anything of that sort and said that it was Zayd who carried a false tale to Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Zayd radiallahu anhu said, I was so much perturbed because of this until this verse was revealed, verifying my statement. This is from Surah 63, verse number 1, of which the meaning is, when the hypocrites come to you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they say, we bear witness that you are indeed the messenger of Allah. Allah knows that you are indeed his messenger, and Allah bears witness that the hypocrites are liars indeed. Then Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam called the hypocrites in order to seek forgiveness for them from Allah, but they turned away their heads. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abdullah bin Ubay was the chief of the hypocrites at Al-Madinah. In the journey mentioned in this hadith, which was undertaken in connection with the war with Bani al-Mustalik, he had used improper words against the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Muslim, which were overheard by Zayd bin al-Aqam radiyallahu anhu. The latter informed the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam about this occurrence. This incident goes to prove that exposing the designs and conspiracies of hypocrite does not form backbiting. In fact, it is essential to keep people informed about them in the interest of Islam and Muslim. Lastly, narrated Aisha radiallahu anha, Hind, the wife of Abu Sufyan, said to Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Sufyan is a niggardly man and does not give me and my children adequate provision for maintenance unless I take something from his possession without his knowledge. Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to her, take from his possession on a reasonable basis that much which may suffice for you and your children. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Hind was the mother of Muawiyah radiallahu anhu. Along with her husband Abu Sufyan, she embraced Islam in the year of the conquest of Mecca. We learn from this hadith that one, in order to know religious junctions, husband and wife can mention each other's shortcoming before a mufti who is in a position to issue verdicts on religious matters. If a husband does not give his wife enough money to cover the domestic expenses, then it is permissible for his wife to take some of his money without his permission, provided the amount thus taken is for essential expenses, not for superfluous matters. Wallahu alam, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
as-Saliheen?
Yeah, so volume 2.